told me that I didn't have to give him a long, drawn-out introduction. He's going to talk about himself when he starts. So I'm just going to get out of the way. Mike is handing out the paper for this portion of the demonstration today. And if anybody feels like they want to get up and dance, Gordon says go for it. And just be careful on the tabletops. Okay? All right, go ahead, Gordon.
Are you ready to go? Well, since she didn't say anything else about us, we'll have to talk about ourselves here. Well, I'm Gordon McCann. I'm from Springfield. This is Madalyn Yohn from outside Bolivar. Earl Ball from Humansville. And Enloe, Forrest Enloe. I want to say Forrest Enloe. How many of you had fiddlers in your family? Any of you? Good. We can pretty well say what we want then, because nobody knows what we're doing anyway. So. What we're going to do today is demonstrate for you traditional or old-time fiddling, it's called. And it's really a very fragile thing today because the media is so powerful on young people. And classical music's having the same trouble. That they pretty well funnel these youngsters into whatever the rock stars want or whatever that is, you know. And it's really, and our square dancing is demised, which practically everything we'll play is dance music at one kind of a dance at one time, because this music is very old. And I don't read music. You don't read music enough to hurt anything, do you? He doesn't read music. You probably do, because you're a youngster. You read music. Well, I knew she would. But this has all come down. We're going to play tunes that are 300 and 400 years old. And it's all come across the pond, as the old timers used to say. Ear, from generation to generation, orally, by ear. Nobody reads music. The young people nowadays read music, but the old timers, our generation, and the ones before us, I don't know of anybody that read music. And so what we'll do is start off and kind of just show you some different types of tunes, that there's something in this world besides what we call the OBS syndrome, Orange Blossom Special. There's other tunes, thousands of other tunes. So let's see, Earl, what do you want to play? What do you want to play first? Just pick anything. Pick a hornpipe sometime.
I'll play Freda.
What's that in? That's a relatively new composition, probably from an old melody of some kind. Hornpipes, of course, and reels used to have a different speed, but when we took them over in this country and we got them especially into the Appalachia and to the Ozarks, we mixed them together and we call them hoedowns. It used to be reel was a little faster than a hornpipe. They were both dances that were done. And so now this is all the reels and hornpipes are played about the same. Now another hornpipe, though, would be, this young lady is Madalyn Yohn, who is 10 years old. And like I said, this is all very fragile, but she is coming up playing what we call traditional or old-time fiddling, rather than the other venues of fiddling there are now, which really more or less drop the tradition. So you want to play Soldier's Joy? What do you want to play? You just say. Well, okay. Huh? What?
Cindy.
Cindy? Okay, Cindy's all right. That in. D, I thought you did. This is Cindy. This is these public domain tunes that have been around for a long time. Okay. said that's the first one he ever learned to play. That's an old play party song too. Any of you used to go to play parties years and years ago? That was one of the tunes. They didn't have a fiddle, any music at the play party because the fiddle was kind of evil some places, you know. So what they did is they took square dance calls and they did them without any music, and that was okay. But if you brought a fiddle in the room, it was pretty bad, pretty sinful. In other words, yeah, satanic, yeah. But let's see. There's a couple of hornpipes we played. Let's see. We'll get another tune that came in. You play minstrel tune I'm thinking of. Buffalo Bill. Yeah, okay. Those all came from, say, like the 1600s and 1700s into this country, and then when we got to this country, that music got mixed up, and I'm sure they say there's a lot of black influence in it. I don't know. But then the minstrel started. So you had another type of tune that's evolved, minstrel tunes. And one that, I have some sheet music on it from 1837. Now, I didn't read the music, but people that did tell me it's this same melody. And this tune, I won't say what it is, you'll recognize the tune, I think. We'll play that one. Any of you recognize that tune? You know, that's Buffalo Gals is what it is, yeah. And, there's these tunes all have names that there's so many stories about the names. But that was a minstrel tune written by, I forgot what his name was now, it was a minstrel star back in the 1820s and 30s. And what they'd do is every town they went to, if it was in Cincinnati, it was Cincinnati gals. And if it was somewhere else, it was some other town gals. And they say the reason they lit on Buffalo gals is it was when the Erie Canal was being built. Why, they said the laborers at the end of the day would go visit the Buffalo gals in Buffalo, New York, you know. Who knows? These stories all go around here. But another type of tune that came in about then, I'm trying to think what would be a good one to do here. Well, anyway, around the time of the Civil War, there was a tune that had come into the South already and was beginning to spread, and then after the Civil War, it's still with us, and that's the waltzes. And if there's ever some pretty tunes in this fiddle music, it's some of the waltzes they play. They really are pretty. What waltz do you want to play?
Play Jennifer's Waltz.
Okay, you know Jennifer's Waltz? Well, don't look at me. I don't know it either. I'll see what key are you in? Yeah, okay. Now here's one they all usually start on, and it's still around. These are called public domain tunes. In other words, they've been around so long nobody knows who wrote them, you know. They've just always been around, and this is everywhere. And it's incorrect English, and if you like English, you shouldn't say this title. It's called Bile Them Cabbage Down, you know. Okay. One thing that makes us happy to see these youngsters is, like I said, this is very fragile now. And these young people, the sad story about all this, first of all, is the disappearing of the square dancing, because that's what this instrument is for dancing. And the square dancers need a fiddler to dance to, you know. Nothing against this Texas square dancing where the guy has a record and all that, but this is really the heritage of the Ozarks and the Appalachia and all that. But like I said, youngsters aren't getting into this. They're not going to sit and face each other and play Soldier's Joy all day, so they get off into either bluegrass, which is fine, or down on the strip at Branson, which all they have to know there is one tune, Orange Blossom Special. That's all they got to be able to do. On top of their head, behind their back, whatever. Or to back up the star accompanying, you know. So it makes us feel good here that we have one, and she has one of these unusual teachers that we find now that actually is teaching traditional fiddling, and that's a young lady from Bolivar here, Lisa Jarvis. Where is Lisa? She's here somewhere, isn't she? There you are.
Stand up,
There you
Lisa.
are.
It's always
Stand up,
seen you.
Lisa. That's why I found out about, I saw this young lady, and I thought, well, what's she doing? Here's all these others up there playing this contest stuff, which is, mechanically they're very good, but you can't dance to it, and it's all for money, and but it's the big thing with them now, you know. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think of what else there. What do you want to play, John? We'll just we won't get too academic with all this. What do you want to play?
Play another waltz?
Yeah, play another waltz. That'd be okay.
Oh, waves.
Yep. Now, I'll tell you, this waltz he's going to play, I have no doubt, is the most played waltz in Western civilization. In Europe, in this continent, in Australia and everything. And now you hear it in all these countries that are picking up this music. And this is the National Waltz of Mexico, Sobre las Olas. And it was written in 1888 by a Mexican Indian in Monterey. And the band he was with came to the Louisiana Expedition in 1890 something. And the band was very popular, and this waltz just took off from there. And you'll hear it everywhere. And in fact, in the 50s, Mario Lanza was in some movie. I think it's called, they put words to it, called it The Loveliest Night of the Year or something like that. But this is really about the most popular waltz there is. Pardon? You mean the TV programs? That's probably in there somewhere. I don't know. No, that's you mean the intro song? You mean everything? No, that's that. Yeah, but that's Earl Art Galbraith. Some of his tunes, Dixie Blossoms and Sunday Night Reel, that kind of stuff. Some of them sound alike. Well, I know. I mean, they do. But when you play them hours and hours and hours, you learn little differences. I might explain what Enloe and I are. We're called seconds. We don't call them accompanists. We're seconds in this music, which means we're really nothing more than human metronomes. We're here to help him keep time and also to cover up their mistakes. See, that's that's our job and everything. Madalyn, what do you think you want to play now? What? Oh, where's Lisa? I'll do it. I'll try it here. Now, listen, don't hold this against me. I don't think I've ever played this thing. What's it in? A? Okay. I'll play real soft. You won't know what's in it. Go ahead. See, the young ones are learning stuff. We're used to the simple stuff, and they throw in this crooked, we call it cricket, a tune that doesn't have a regular progression of chords.
Could have been an A minor completely.
Could have been.
Is it A minor? It's a minor second.
Well, it's up to G. What do you want to play, Earl?
Let's play it. Show me my favorite.
Okay. Now this is one you all will recognize from Ken Burns' series on the Civil War, Ashokan's Farewell. It was written by a fiddler named J. Unger, who's from New York. And people think some man saying farewell. Well, in Ashoka, New York, there was a college. And they had a summer camp for fiddlers, and he wrote this to commemorate the ending of the stuff. But this is the one that went on the Civil War series, and he's made a fortune off of it, I'm sure. you want to play again here? You remember that flop-eared mule? Yeah. This is a tune called Flop-Eared Mule. DNA she plays it. Wait, hang on. What you want to play. You're the fiddler. You're in control. You're the head of the whole group here, so you just say what you want to play, then you say. A lot of them feel that way. Oh, I don't mean you. But well, what do you want to do, Earl? You ever used to play square dances, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, around this area, Humansville, everything.
Yeah.
Huh?
Missouri Waltz, she said.
Okay, we'll get to it in a minute here. You got something else you want to play this time?
I bet she's got a whole head full of too.
Yeah.
Sure she does. She can't sort them out. So. You want to try that boat thing?
Probably need the music.
Oh, well, they wouldn't know the difference if you Oh, are you on pass for a minute? You think be thinking of something here?
Play Soldier's Joy.
You play Soldier's Joy, don't you? Huh? You want to try Soldier's Joy? I'll play real loud next time.
Let's read how it starts.
I gotta get there. Start it. Now you got
There you go.
Whatever you want to play. It's called Mississippi Sawyer. Got something else, or you want to think a minute? Okay, she wants to think a minute. We want to play here. What else do you want to play? You play any rags? Like Stone's
I
rag?
play,
Peacock rag? Stone's
Yep.
rag? Peacock rag? And of course, when we got to the starts of this century, the ragtime came in. Now, these fiddlers, just like a Chopin's Farewell, that's a modern tune. They're always learning new tunes. They aren't fixed with just the old tunes. This is one then would come around the turn of the last century, I have to say now. It's in the,
Where's that boy?
You wanna wait a minute?
All over again.
huh? Okay, all right, there's Angeline the baker. What's it in? Huh? D? D, yeah. It's another crooked one. Okay. want to play here?
Oh, it's been a while.
Okay. Okay.
It's in D.
Rubber Dolly? You want Rubber Dolly? You play Rubber Dolly? Hey, yeah. else have a request?
Turkey in the straw.
Turkey in the straw.
Let's try Rambo's song.
Hmm?
Let's try Rambo's song.
Which one?
Rambo's song.
Okay, all right, this is, she has to play this because she said she was gonna play it, and I'd never even heard it before, but she played it last year when I made a video, so I got the video out and spent an hour trying to figure this thing out, so she's, whether she messes up or not, I will too, so we'll be all right. Aaron, boat song. Where it came from, I don't know. Have to ask her teacher back there. Irish, okay, it's Irish. Well, we didn't. Teacher, how did we do on that? Okay, all right. Now,
No idea what she's doing.
well, I didn't either tell her. Real simple, I guess, once you know it. What do you want? Yeah, Devil's Dream, you play Devil's Dream.
Probably tries dry and dusty though.
Hey, that's a good. He played D.R.E. Now, he didn't play the D Among the Tailors, which was the old name for it. He plays Dry and Dusty, don't you? Oh, he played D.R.E. They played both.
One of these ones.
I like E better. else? Oh, wait a while. Okay. What are you going to do? We're just playing what we do at music parties. Red Wing, there. Earl, you know Red Wing, don't you? Huh? You know Red Wing? Play along with it, don't you? What are you looking at? You want us to? Okay, good. All right, that's fine. Well, she had a stern look, and I wonder what she was.